True Blue Nation, Dodgers Report.
A bombshell just dropped on Dodger Stadium. While the season for one of our most important veterans may have just tragically ended, a phenom is on his way to change the team's future. The fate of our season was sealed today. To understand every detail of this twist, subscribe to the channel right now. Hello, Blue Crew. A warm welcome to True Blue Nation, Dodgers Report. Before we dive into today's bombshell news, which promises to rattle the nerves of any fan, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any exclusive updates and in-depth analysis like what I'm bringing you today. Your subscription is crucial for me to continue delivering this detailed content directly to our Blue Nation. Today was one of those days that truly tests a fan's heart. Two major pieces of news dropped at once, and nobody was ready for them. On one side, an injury that feels like a painful deja vu, taking one of the most versatile players off the roster right when depth is needed most. On the other, a surprising silence at the trade deadline, with no impact signings and a risky bet on a prospect who won't be arriving anytime soon. Want to know what all this could mean for our team? Then stay with me. News item number 1, Tommy Edman is injured again. Are the Dodgers turning into a luxury hospital? You know that chilling feeling of deja vu, the one that sends a shiver down your spine. Now imagine that deja vu happening live on national television and involving your ankle. Because that's exactly what happened with Tommy Edman. The guy has basically become the walking definition of bad luck for the Dodgers this season. Sunday, game against the Rays. First base. Edman rounds the bag with the energy of someone desperately trying not to feel pain and fails miserably. A grimace, a limp, walking off the field with the same expression as last week. Yes, the same scene, the same ankle, the same pained look, the same outcome. Another right ankle sprain. It's like one of those bad horror movies that insists on making sequels. You already know what's going to go wrong, but you're still there, watching the tragedy unfold. And look, manager Dave Roberts didn't mince words. He said it's a recurrence of what he's been dealing with after he hit the bag. And hold on, he meant the first base bag. Okay, I just don't see how this doesn't result in a trip to the injured list. End of story. Timber. He's still playing at a high level, but at what cost? And this is where it gets serious. Because Tommy Edman might not be putting up eye-popping numbers this year, but he's the kind of player who leaves a gigantic tactical hole when he's gone. Let's look at the numbers quickly. A 2.26 average, 12 home runs, 44 RBIs, and an 88 OPS plus in 85 games. It's not spectacular, but it wasn't a disaster either. He even started the year well. But since the first injury, he's never looked 100% again. But forget the stats for a second. Edman is the guy you can plug into any position in the infield or outfield, and he gets the job done. Left field? Sure. Second base? No problem. Shortstop? Yep, that too. He's like that office employee who knows how to fix the printer, format the computer, and still make a decent cup of coffee. When he's missing, chaos ensues. And now, he's out. Add that to a Kike Hernandez, who has also had his share of physical issues. Add that to a Max Muncy, who just got back and whose body always seems to be on the edge. Man, the Dodgers have more players in the medical department than on the bench. And that brings up the inevitable question. How is this team still fighting at the top? Seriously, they're holding on to the lead with duct tape and hope. It's impressive, but there's a limit, right? The defense is already showing cracks. The player rotations are forcing guys who should be in AAA to play in playoff level series. And with the National League standing so tight, any 5-game losing streak completely changes the picture. Oh, and to make matters worse, this sprain is the same one from the beginning of the season, which means it clearly didn't heal properly. Maybe he came back too soon. Maybe the guy's ankle is made of industrial-grade gelatin. But the truth is, the Dodgers couldn't afford to lose another starter for this long. And losing the one guy who plays 5 different positions hurts more than it seems. Now think about it with me. You have your starting utility player injured. Your backup options are also banged up. And the guy filling in for Muncy is more of a power hitter than an elite defender. So you solve one problem, but lose in another area. It's like covering your feet and leaving your head exposed. And the playoffs. They're already knocking on the door. September arrives in the blink of an eye, and if Edman needs to relearn how to walk before he can run again, forget about it. The impact won't just be on offense. It will be on defense, on the bench, on the team's rhythm. And you want to know the craziest part? The fan base is already starting to wonder if it's even worth forcing his return in 2025. Because these kinds of recurring injuries don't just disappear. And if he comes back too soon again, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he seizes up trying to round second base in the wild card game. The question that remains is, are the Dodgers going to find someone on the market to plug this hole? Or are they going to bet everything on a miraculous recovery from the medical department? Because so far, their plan B looks more like a plan Z. And now I'll throw it to you. Is this string of injuries going to end the Dodgers' chances in October? Or does this patched up roster still have enough gas to fight for the title? Comment below. Because if this is the end of the line, a lot of people are going to wonder if Edman's ankle just cost them a World Series. Man, what happened with the Dodgers trade deadline? Seriously, the guys showed up like they owned a party and left holding a cup of soda and 2 peanuts in their pocket. Literally, you look at a team with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and you think, okay, these guys are going to show up at the deadline and upgrade the roster in style. But no blockbuster, no game-changing player, no reinforcements for the bullpen or third base. Just 2 modest additions and an awkward silence, as if everything was already sorted out. The front office acted as if the roster was perfect. No hoes. As if the bullpen hasn't been giving up runs nonstop since June. As if Max Muncy is the same guy from 2019 ready to carry third base in October. The reality? Not even close. Everyone knows it. Is the team leading the division? Great. But anyone who watches the games regularly knows that the lead is held together with a lot of tension, a lot of improvisation, and a dose of luck. It's the kind of campaign that looks solid until October comes knocking. Let's be real. Blake Snell arrived with fanfare, but is already back on the injured list. Tanner Scott, who was supposed to be the bullpen silver bullet, is also dealing with physical issues. And Max Muncy, he was out for weeks. And even before he got hurt, he was playing at a completely unstable pace, hitting around 250 with a few flashes here and there, but nothing that inspired confidence. The guy has power at the plate, yes, but he disappears in crucial moments. He takes wild swings and makes you want to pull your hair out. We still have to talk about Michael Conforto, who hasn't delivered what was expected so far. His numbers are well below average. The defense is good, but the bat is inconsistent. And the bullpen, some innings feel like a game of Russian roulette. When the game gets to the 7th inning and the starter is out, Dodgers fans enter a state of prayer. No exaggeration. Camilo Doval, Bednar, the Yankees went after them. The Phillies went after them. The Giants made moves. And the Dodgers, nothing. It feels like a joke. The impression is that the front office went into this deadline with their minds stuck on what they did in the offseason, as if spending $500 million on Ohtani and Yamamoto gave them the right to rest until October. Like, relax, we've already done our part. But the season doesn't stop. Problems arise, injuries happen, and the MLB waits for no one. Then people say, oh, when Muncy gets back, things will be different. Man, what? When Muncy gets back, you're going to rely on a 33-year-old guy with an injury history, and in the last guaranteed year of his contract, remember, he has a $10 million option for next year. An option the Dodgers could very well decline, especially after cutting other veterans like Chris Taylor, for example, who was useful, but is now dead weight on the roster. And that's when Munetaka Murakami's name starts to circulate. Yes, the Japanese phenomenon. The guy's a monster at the plate. At just 25 years old, he's already hit over 220 home runs in Japan. And despite a recent elbow surgery, he's getting ready to hit the MLB with full force. He'll become a free agent this winter. And guess which team is the favorite to sign him? Exactly, the Dodgers, because they've done this before. Yamamoto, Ohtani, Sasaki, all those big names from Japan are already owned by the Dodgers in terms of favoritism. They have the structure, the money, and most importantly, the track record. If Murakami wants to come play in the States and chase a title, the destination seems obvious. Harry Miller from Bleacher Report even predicted a contract, 6 years with the Dodgers, becoming Muncy's natural replacement. Imagine a lineup with Ohtani, Freeman, Betts, and Murakami side by side. That's a machine. But here's the problem. That's only in December. And until then, there are the playoffs. There's September. There are the series against the Giants, Padres, Braves, Phillies, What are the Dodgers going to do until then? Are they going to count on Kike Hernandez and Miguel Rojas to hold down third base? Are they betting that Gavin Lux will wake up? Man, that's not going to solve it. And this decision to do nothing now could cost them dearly later. Because even though they're one of the best teams on paper, the Dodgers have a recent history of collapsing in the playoffs. In 2022, it was against the Padres. In 2023, the same story. Teams that fly high in the regular season but fall apart when the pressure is on. And you know why? Because they lack depth. They lacked adjustments. They lacked that deadline move that changes the course of a series. And this year seemed perfect for it. There were good players available. There were teams needing to cut salary. There were competitors making moves. But the Dodgers chose to trust in recoveries, in comebacks, and in the potential that's already there. And that's fine if it works. But if it doesn't, if Muncy comes back and doesn't produce, if the bullpen keeps melting down, if Snell doesn't recover well, then no amount of savings will save them. So the question remains, do the Dodgers really believe they already have enough to win? Or are they just kicking the can down the road, waiting for next season as if it were a video game with an infinite career mode? And you, the Dodger fan, do you still trust this roster? Or was this the biggest question mark of the season? Comment below. Is the team ready, or does it just look ready on paper? So Dodger fan, what do you think of this mix of seemingly endless injuries and the silence on the market that has left everyone on edge? Will the team manage to overcome these challenges and come on strong in the playoffs? Or will these risky bets end up costing them the title? I want to know your opinion. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates, and comment below. Do you trust this team to bounce back, or do you think the season might end sooner than expected?